Hello everyone, and welcome to the newest Godzilla figure review. Today, I have Godzilla Action Figure King Ghidorah 1991, which was released in 2025 from Bandai. Starting off, let's actually not look at the figure, but its box. Taking a look at this box, I think it's very well detailed from head to toe. I really like the this part right here where you get to see an image of King Ghidorah from the movie, along with Godzilla Action Figure, the logo and Kanata, the name of the figure. I just think that the front of it is very well designed. I especially love this blurb of text. And then you get a side image of King Ghidorah, along with a back image showing off the figure, and then another logo and name. Although, something that I don't really like is this side image. So usually the boxes are displayed this way, which makes King Ghidorah look really weird, because you're seeing him sideways, when he's supposed to be like this. And it just doesn't fit with any of the other boxes, because all the other characters are staying this way up, but King Ghidorah is the only way that's sideways, because if he was this way up, then you couldn't see the two other heads. You'd only just see one long head that probably wouldn't even be in frame still. That's my only real criticism, just because it looks a bit awkward, but hey, that was probably the best that they could do, and I'm sure that no other King Ghidorah image could fit as cleanly right here and also be right here. So, it's fine. Now then, moving on to the actual figure itself, I adore this shiny golden color that they molded the figure into. Like, look how this plastic just shines whenever my light hits it. It's really nice. And off camera, these colors look even better. Trust me. Like, they don't look as dark as they're appearing for me. They're really shiny and nice. And then I also love how they did the scales. I love how they still look like they're overlapping and are actually a part of the body instead of just something kind of like tacked on or like barely molded in. And then I love how the faces look. Even though this figure is cheaper than a lot of other figures, it still has nicely molded details, like the many lines on King Ghidorah's head, the little circular bits on for the horns. It has the little bit of the chin horns. Opening the mouth, you can see that the whole of it is painted red. And then there's lines on it white lines for the teeth, which I think look really nice. Same thing with the eyes. The eyes are very nicely painted with both the cloaca and the pupil. And then, like I said before, there's just very nice sculpting and molding on this whole figure. That just makes it a treat to look at. Like, this looks like a very, very, very nice King Ghidorah figure. I wouldn't say like premium, but it's definitely a lot nicer than a lot of other cheaper King Ghidorah figures that are on the market right now. Moving on to articulation, starting off in the head, King Ghidorah, you can move his head a full 360 like that. Then you can open the mouth this far wide and then easily close it. It's not, that's funny. It dropped down when I tried to say easily close it. But yeah, you can close it back up. Then, at this part of the neck, you can tilt the head this far downwards. There we go. And then, this far upwards. Which kind of puts it back to a regular neutral one. Then, at this section, you can tilt it this far up. Which gives you this. And then this far down. Like so. Following this is at the base of the neck, where can't really see it with the middle head, but I'll use the side head. You can do a full 360. You can do it with like each and every single head. Each head has the same level of articulation. It's just that this middle head can typically get in the way of the other heads if you're, having it bent down here, so you can't go like that, it can't go like that, and then vice versa. Although if you have it all the way upwards, and then swivel it like that, which is pretty nice. Next, the wings. You can flap them like so, which is very nice. See, this far back, this far in, back, and then in. And then you can tilt them slightly, although if you tilt it too far, then the wing can pop out. But luckily, they can also be pushed back in pretty easily. Next is the tail. You can swivel the tail almost a full 360, much like the wings. You can't really push them too far or else they pop off, but you can easily pop them back on. And then this section of the tail, you can swivel a full 360. Next, of course, is the hips. The hips can swivel about this far up, about this far back. Reference is about this far up. And then this far backwards. So yeah, not that much, but it's fundamental enough for me. You can also tilt it this far out, and then this far in. And then finally is the ankle tilt, where you can swivel it like this, and then tilt it like that a bit, tilt it like that. This is mostly due to it being on a bit of a ball joint, if you can see right there. Most of this figure is on ball joints, which, helps to articulate, although the necks are a different kind of joint, as you can see pretty easily right here. You don't attempt to really cover that. King Ghidorah has no chest or waist articulation. You can't swivel this at all. It's just one big hunk of plastic, much like many other Godzilla action figures. And then there's also no knee joints. You can't push that in or push that out or turn it or anything. It's just one big chunk, like the rest of the body. Next up is size comparison. Now, this King Ghidorah is pretty dang big. Like, big enough to go toe-to-toe with a lot of other Godzilla action figures. So, let's see that right now. Here's King Ghidorah next to Godzilla -0 Godzilla action figure, Revoltech Gamera, Godzilla Monster Series, Godzilla Movie Monster Series, Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah Godzilla, Marvel Legends Spider-Man, SHF Ultraman Z, SHMA Godzilla 1954, Godziburst Godzilla, NECA Godzilla GMK, and finally, my personal favorite to compare it to, Godzilla vs. Biollante Haya Godzilla, which, look at these two. This just goes together perfectly, don't it? Especially if you, don't have Haya King Ghidorah. So, Oh yeah, and then, just for fun, HG Revive RX-78-2 Gundam. And then, just for fun, let's compare it to the only other 6-inch-ish King Ghidorah figure that I have in my collection, Jakks Pacific, King of the Monsters, King Ghidorah. I'm probably the only one ever to make this comparison. So, first things first, let's compare the colors and overall accuracy to the actual, character in their own movies. First up, Godzilla action figure King Ghidorah has the same type of golden color as the Heisei Godzilla, King Ghidorah in Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah, along with having a fully posable jaw, painted mouth, eyes, just nicely sculpted heads, and movable necks that can, move in 3 points, much like Heisei King Ghidorah. Next up, Jakks Pacific, King of the Monsters, King Ghidorah. This King Ghidorah has a lot murkier of a color than the actual King Ghidorah in that movie, along with having weird black splotches on his body. While he does have a lot of molded detail, I'd say, the heads, specifically, like, the faces just suck. Look at the one on this head right here, that eye just falling off. The little dots they have for eyes, and then, like, the painting of the mouth is just mediocre and subpar. The articulation is in one point. You can't swivel the heads. It's just like this, and then this head can just like go like that, I guess. And then you do get this articulation in the wings, but it's really awkward if you're like trying to flap, because it's like, well, let me try and get this on camera. Hold on. It's like this. And that's really awkward looking and loose. This is a really loose figure, which might just be from time, but it's just really weird. Next up, like I said, articulation. Jakks Pacific sucks. While they both don't have any type of leg articulation, you can at least move the feet on Godzilla Action Figure King Ghidorah, while you can't move anything below the thigh on this King Ghidorah. They both have tail articulation, but Godzilla Action Figure King Ghidorah has 2 points of tail articulation, while this one only has 1. And then they both have wing articulation, but one is a lot more awkward and looser than the other. And then one, it has movable jaws. The other has molded open jaws that look like beaks. One has movable heads. The other has no movable head. One has a movable neck. This one also has a movable neck, but only in 1 point. Well, these ones have 3. Actually, no, 4. 5 if you count swabbing head. I don't know why I made this comparison. But yeah, Jakks Pacific, to no one's surprise, sucks. And this one is better, because it's more modern, more articulation, probably better priced. I don't know how those Jakks Pacific toys go for nowadays, but yeah. Now then, I've sung the praises of this figure, like, this whole video, but what criticisms might I have for it? Well, a major problem I have with the heads is the jaws and how they're ball joints. So, as you can see right here, you can see like the ball joint in the head right here, and this is something I have an issue with all Godzilla action figures, is that like when you're closing the head, it can look like the mouth isn't even closed at all, and then like the tongue's sticking out, and then if you don't even like close it the right way, it's like then slack jawed like this, like that, and it looks really weird, and you have to correct it, and then you still have that stupid tongue poking out. Then, in the neck, it can be really awkward trying to pose with all 3 of the necks. Like that pose I just did took me a bit to figure out, because you can't like really turn the heads like this. You gotta like go right here, and then like it can only go down. It can't turn to the side or anything, which is really limiting. Like you can swivel like this, but then he's looking this way and not forwards, and you swivel it back forwards, but then he can't like turn right there, so then it's weird. This wing, at least on my copy, is really loose and can like just go down. Like I think the wings actually on both sides just suck in staying in place. They both like see tilt, and then they both go down, and I don't want that. I don't want the wings pointing down. I want them pointing to the side, but this thing just won't stay for some reason. Then tail articulation is kind of stiff and limited. I never really know which way to have these tails pointing. It never looks right to me. It always looks like he has like 2 left pointing tails, which is really weird. Or I guess right pointing. It's weird. And then like the lack of knee articulation is really limiting as well, because you can't really do a lot with these legs. So you just like kind of move all around the place. Or you're trying to figure out how to pose him. That's a real issue with this guy. Trying to pose it. Like, you try to get it into an actual pose, and it just won't look right, and you have to, like, move it over and over again, use different angles. It just doesn't feel right. It just doesn't feel right trying to move this dude at times, and that's really annoying because of how much I like looking at it. And then, speaking of looking at it, for pure appearance sake, I hate that. You see it right here? The unpainted part that just sticks out like a sore thumb because it's a different color than the rest of the figure. he's here and it's so obvious and easy to spot the like little indents and clips and slices and parts that just don't look right. And I hate it. I hate this thing when you like look at it closely enough to like see all the little cuts, I guess. It's weird. All in all, what would I rate this guy? Honestly, despite that last ranting part, I'd give him a solid 7.5. It's a really nice King Ghidorah figure that I feel like a lot of people would be happy with, especially like if you pair it up with Haya Heisei Godzilla. It's obviously supposed to go with its own Heisei Godzilla, but I really like putting it next to Haya Godzilla because I don't have the Haya King Ghidorah. So this works as a very nice, cheaper alternative for me. While this figure was $30, I think it does make up for it, even if it doesn't come with any accessories, just because of how nice it looks next to other figures. So yeah, I would definitely recommend picking up this guy if you can, and posing it with whatever figure you can find. It's always gonna look nice right next to them. He just always looks good next to another figure. I don't know what magic they used for this guy. All in all, that's my review for Godzilla Action Figure King Ghidorah 1991. I hope you enjoyed and that you will return for the channel for some new videos. Egonzilla out.